Today we have the start of our League 2 adventure. Following yesterday's transfer special, we're back here to kick off the year. Stevenage in the league, and then Watford in the Carabao Cup. Yes, Watford are down in the Championship in this Football Manager universe, and we've got them for the second game of the season. We're probably just going to turn up and get pummeled, but I don't know. It'll be an interesting test. It's going to be a fun episode today. I hope you're ready. Shall we get into things and run that intro? How's it going, folks? Welcome back to episode number 46 here of Park to Prem and the start of season number 8. It's taken us 8 years to get, 4 promotions? I feel like that's pretty good going all in all. Hopefully, we're going to stay up this year. I was about to say hopefully we're going to get promoted this year. I think that might be a tad ambitious. Of course, our first year in the Football League, and it is a league that is, rather competitive. And despite the fact there are all these promotion spots towards the top, certainly, when it comes to our media prediction of 24th, maybe we should be looking over our shoulder. We did strengthen the team with some new signings. I've added a couple of more since then too. The first of which is Liam Stewart, a Scottish centre mid. I was looking for that versatile kind of active, creative, buzzy centre mid. Someone who could play roaming playmaker, could also play box to box. Liam Stewart, maybe not the most mobile of players, to be honest, when it comes to his physicals, but very, very good mentals and also very good technicals for the roaming playmaker role. In fact, if we just compare him here with Lewis Ferguson, probably an upgrade in that area of the pitch. So a really good addition in him. The other man we've picked up is Paul Appiah, another centre-back. We've brought a lot of defenders in this year, but this man, a very, very good player, a player who was playing with Boston United last year, averaged a 7.41 rating, got 7 player of the matches. He was transfer listed by request, not happy at Boston, who of course were promoted with us last year. We've managed to snap him up, and I think he's a really good addition, and you might have spotted it, £900 a week. Compared to other players we signed yesterday, that's rather cheap. Of course, going into this season, the board expectation is simply to avoid relegation from League 2, and I think for me personally, I'd like a comfortable mid-table finish, a nice, comfy season. That's what's needed, I think, after a few years of playoff stress. What I will say is, despite our media prediction being rather low, I feel like that's more based on the reputation of our players and the club and also the finances rather than anything else. If we actually look at our team compared to other teams in this league, we're a very middle-of-the-road team. In fact, in certain areas, we're better than other teams out there. And of course, this isn't the perfect reading by any means, but I think what you can see as we look through this kind of screen of all the different comparisons positionally and also in terms of the physicals, mentals and technicals, we're not the worst team in this league. We are, at the very least, I think, a middle-of-the-road team. There's no area, I think, where we are the worst in the league, which I suppose in itself is something. Maybe this is a completely false reading, but it's given me a little bit of hope going into the new year. So a little bit of injury news to start the year. Trey George, unfortunately injured, got injured in pre-season, still out for 2 to 4 weeks. And elsewhere, Brandon Charles picked up an injury right at the end of pre-season. You can see here, failed a fitness test, not recommended to be selected. So, yeah, very unlikely he's going to play today. A really crucial player for us over the last few years. Very keen to see how he adapts to League 2. Now, like I already said, today's first game of the year is against Stevenage. They are a team long established at this level. They've had over a decade stuck in League 2. So with that in mind, they should be rather good opposition today. And for the first time in a little while, it feels like, we've got a Jack Dozen away day. We're heading to the Lamex Stadium, of course, with a promotion, new away days to see. I'm excited for this one. Let's go check it out. I have no idea how long it has been since the last away day. Of course, last season in the National League, I did go through rather quickly. It was a 5-episode season, which might be a channel record. You can obviously expect with us having more games in League 2, and hopefully a cup run or two, there will be a couple more episodes this year. We're not heading to Luton, we're heading to Stevenage, which is next door, and we're heading to the Lamex Stadium, which is located here. Definitely didn't check it before hitting start record on this part of the video. I mean, first things first, good, solid car park. It's what we want to see. I mean, it's not the most picturesque of stadium locations, is it? Nestled between an interchange, but it is making me want to play City Skylines. I'm a little bit concerned as I click on the yellow man here that there might not be a lot to see, but hopefully there's some circles over the stadium. Okay, now I'm worried. I mean, from the main road, we can get a look at the signage. It's big. I'm not sure about the font, Stevenage, but who am I to judge? They've got the club shop. And I mean, from the outside looking in, it doesn't feel that much grander than other stadiums we visited. I mean, I can get a little sneaky peek here at the back of the stadium and of the car park, where it appears the Google van just decided to drive over the car park. I mean, they've got Is that storage containers just that the stadium is made out of? I mean this in the most respectable way. I was kind of expecting something grander to kick off our Football League adventure. This doesn't feel that different to what we were in last year, does it? And what we saw over the last few years in the National League. I'm not saying Stevenage are ready for relegation. They might be ready for relegation. I thought maybe Google Earth could save the day, but the stadium's just flat. I mean, it's not the grand return, is it, to the Football League I was expecting. I don't mean this to disrespect the people of Stevenage, but the Lamex Stadium is whack. Apologies. It's a rare occasion where I feel like a stadium doesn't deserve a score. This is one such occasion. It might hold 8,000 fans. Didn't look like it from the outside. Underwhelming coverage. No additional facilities. No solar panels. The only thing redeeming was a car park. 2.25 out of 10. So this is our first game in the history of Guernsey Football Club in the Football League. With that in mind, I'd quite like to win it. When it comes to team news, everything looks different at the back. Of course, Carlton came in midway through last year and was a really vital part of the team, to be fair, when he did play for us. Despite the fact he has 2 acceleration and 3 pace, we're sticking with him. Although I have now turned him off sweeper keeper. Apparently at some point I'd accidentally turned it on and then not turned it off. So, yeah, not wise to play Carlton at sweeper keeper, so he's not doing that anymore. At the back, of course, we've got Charlton in on loan from Coventry. That is a confusing sentence and a half. On the left-back position, we've got Callum Williams, who is one of the highest earners at the club. I'm not sure he was worth that money, but I needed a left-back, so we'll see how he gets on today. Of course, Apia making his debut alongside Rogers, who is really hotly rated, our key player on our club overview screen. Very keen to see how he gets on. I have been told he should probably only play 75 minutes. In an ideal world, he survives the 90. Into the midfield today we are without, of course, like I already said, Trey George and Brandon Williams. So as a result, Stewart is actually going to play as a centre mid on attack. Although I've brought him in to be this kind of more roaming playmaker option for us, he can certainly do this role. Of course, Lewis Ferguson going to sit in that Hanusek hole that's been left in the team. And Kelly, the new addition, released from Arsenal. This man should have a bee in his bonnet, a point to prove. Very keen to see how he gets on. And in the final third, the strikers a little more familiar. Smith out on the left-hand side, of course, our pacey, Scottish, left-footed, inconsistent monster. And, well, in between them and our Conte, we have Yer, who was a very important player for us last year. And with Brandon Charles not available today, lots of pressure on Robbie to perform. 7 options on the bench, most of these very familiar players who have been in the squad the last few years. The one exception is Blaine Goller, the 16-year-old we signed from Ross County. There's that little football manager part of my brain that thinks, give this guy a load of game time. Let the 16-year-old become a club legend and develop. He looks very good. He could end up coming on in this one. Now, given our starts to the last couple of seasons, I would just like a win in this game here, especially knowing that we're playing the Carabao Cup against Championship opposition midweek. Unfortunately, I don't think it's quite as lucrative as say, playing an FA Cup game against Championship opposition, but still, Watford will be a fun test later. Don't expect us to win that one. Also, we get the fancy League 2 graphics. I'll tell you what, we've reached the big time here. Look at that, the 4-3-3 is on full display. Lots of options on the bench. Just as a reminder, 7 players on the bench. You can have 3 stoppages, but you can make 5 subs, so we will make lots of subs, I imagine, this season. Truth be told, as the away team here, a draw would be a pretty good result, I feel like. Ultimately, I'm expecting us to be battling against relegation. It's going to be a tough leap up. We don't have as much money as the teams around us. Recruitment in the summer was made easier, but was still rather difficult. And, well, our defending from the first 10 minutes there isn't looking all that convincing, is it? What have I just witnessed? I wasn't even commentating it. I thought I have time to not say anything, and I've just watched Lewis Ferguson murder a man. Are we just rubbish at the start of season? What am I meant to do about that? I mean, ordinarily I'd have Brandon Charles up top who I could move into midfield, but I don't have such option today. Oh, this is bad, isn't it? Okay, so I've changed things up a little bit, but I'm being creative here. We're going to play on balanced mentality. I've not changed any other instructions. Stewart is now going to sit as a more defensive midfielder option. In fact, I am going to stick him as a deep line playmaker, I think. Kelly is going to stay as an advanced playmaker. And Smith, who was playing out on the left-hand side on his left foot, is now going to play on the right-hand side, cutting in on his left foot. I've not played with a winger in over a year now. This is my plan with the red card. It's probably a really rubbish plan. I don't know what else to do. Okay, we have the ball. I mean, if we win from here, it'd be a miracle to start the season. 10 men on the pitch. We've got, 70 minutes to try and survive. I want to do more than survive, though. I want to thrive. And Robbie is in a one-on-one, and we might not get many chances here. That was a very good one. Stevenage with a goal kick. I mean, I'm trying to stay positive. I want to stay on the attack because I know defensively, yes, we've had a new personnel. I think it is still going to be a weakness of ours this year. I feel like just defending in general is not something we're very good at. And, well, Exhibit A is right there. We've just let Duke McKenna run through our entire team. Like, I know he's got Duke in his name. Our players do realise he's not royalty. We don't have to let him by. We don't have to give him a guard of honour. He just ran through the middle and smashed it in. Stevenage are 1-0 up. This is bad. Throwing on the near side. I mean, if we concede a second goal now, there might be a small part of my brain that thinks maybe we should have gone more defensive. Maybe I should just try and limit it to 2-0. But at the same time, I want to attack, and I want to believe that one day Conte will score a goal like that. But personally, I don't think he's got that in his locker. Free kick to Stevenage. I was just about to get shouty. I will now get shouty. We're demanding more. Free kick in a dangerous area. It's Duke McKenna again. Hopefully we can have a save if it's needed. Oh my word. It's actually gone in. He's got 2. It's 2-0 Stevenage. There's 4 minutes left of the half. And it was a very, very good free kick. Could the keeper have done better? I mean, it looks like he's gone through his hands by the 3D representation, but he did kick the ball very hard there. I think it was just a good free kick. Why did I shout demand more? Oh my, don't get a third before half time. Taylor with the ball, trying to thread it through the middle. Rodgers reads it well. Kelly now with it. And now Robbie I mean, if he scores this, we have a chance. He goes round the keeper. It's gone in somehow. I thought for a second the defender was going to stop it. It's in the back of the net. We might be a man down, but we're not 2 goals down. It's 2-1 here. That gives me hope, doesn't it? And hope's what hurts. I mean, let's look at the positives. Really good finish and really good pass by Kelly in the centre of the midfield. Released by Arsenal. Told he wasn't good enough. I'll be honest, after hit it, I thought the defender was just going to block it, but we've got lucky. We're not going to complain. It's 2-1, and at half-time, I am going to tell the players they're terrible. I know looks unhappy. We'll chat with him. Look, Robbie, you're playing well. Keep it going. He's lost focus. Oh, just get to the second half. Okay, I mean, at 2-1... I have a little bit of faith. The fact they're on the attack here to start the half is not really want to see, but on the flip side, it has gone wide. Right, we do have more subs that we can make here, although, good point. I didn't make a stoppage to make subs earlier, did I? We didn't actually stop anything when we made subs. So with that in mind, I can change more here. Who am I going to bring on? I'm tempted to bring in Blaine Goller. Have I lost my mind? Maybe slightly. This is the kind of environment where legends can be born. And I want to believe he could be a legend. Elsewhere, I'm actually going to bring in Slimani. And this might be an error. I'm going to play him as a roaming playmaker at the back. And I'm going to tell Kelly to play centre mid on attack. You might be sat there thinking, is he just making this up as he goes along? Potentially. Robbie Smith hasn't done well out on the right-hand side. So we're going to bring in Tanner Jones and his terrifying pace. And I am going to switch him to play as a winger. I mean, this formation really is a work of art, isn't it? Okay, triple change made just before the hour. We have still got 2 more subs that we can make, but, I mean, when you've only got 10 players on the pitch and one of them's a goalkeeper, you're kind of limited in what players you actually want to change. Defensively, I feel like we've been okay in this game. Charlton's on a booking, but in some ways, this is a good time to test. Is Charlton the kind of man we can trust on a booking? You know, there's some defenders in your teams in Football Manager. They get booked. You don't worry. There are others that get booked and you think, I've got to take them off. I've learned from experience they'll get sent off. Charlton's test is today. I mean, there's been nothing happen in this second half and it's 2-1. I might as well just go on the attack, right? We might as well just go more direct here. In transition, over the top. Wing backs on attack. Let's go for it. Let's have some fun. Why is it in Football Manager when you go more attacking, absolutely nothing seems to happen? It's finished 2-1 here. Now, considering we had a sending off after 13 minutes, we had 48% of the ball, we created chances. I don't feel like we were completely outplayed. On the flip side, we have lost it, and that was the kind of game that if we want to get mid-table, we do probably need to win in. I guess context matters. We had a sending off after 10 minutes. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Now, game number 2 is in the Carabao Cup. Of course, the Carabao Cup, also known as the League Cup, is a competition exclusively for Football League teams. I don't think we're going to be in this for very long, but it's our first game in the competition. We're at home against Watford. If we pull off a win here, it would be a miracle, but maybe it can happen. I'm not optimistic. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so game number 2 today is against Watford, Carabao Cup. It's a bit of a free hit. I don't really know why I'm doing this in an episode. Like I said last year with the FA Cup games, it's one of those ones where you come back expecting to lose, but if you get a win, it's an epic episode moment. And if I just didn't commentate it and we won, and I came back and went, we beat Watford, people would be sad they missed it. So that's why we're here, for pain and suffering or for jubilation. I'll let you guys be the judge. We've already had some pain and suffering, so maybe it's the opposite in this one. In terms of team news, I am looking to rotate things a little bit. Naturally, because Trey George is injured and Brandon Charles is injured, can't quite do that same level of rotation in the striking department. I think we are still actually looking for another striker for our team. We've got a little bit of budget to make it happen, but of course we do actually have transfer windows and registration windows, so if that is going to happen, it's got to happen rather soon. Elsewhere in the team, though, Stewart is going to play at roaming playmaker, which is the role I see him playing most of this season for us in. If we just look at him as a roaming playmaker, pretty good at this role for our level at least. Slimani is going to play at centre mid on attack. The final third is the same as it was last game. At the back, though, I am bringing in some of the defenders from last year. Need to do some early rotation. Don't want to be stuck in a situation where first team players aren't fit for league games. And on top of that, this is kind of somewhat down the priority list. So bringing in the likes of Wilson, Gallagher and McGuinness just kind of feels sensible. Worth noting, and I'm not expecting it, but if the scores are level after 90 minutes, this is our home stadium. I mean, I know we're having stadium work done. Am I going to have to look at this for half a year? It doesn't look good, does it? What I was going to say is, if we're level after 90 minutes, we go straight to penalties. What is this state? What have they done to my stadium? Okay, we do actually have to focus on the game where, well, we managed to get the ball into their box, which in itself might be considered a small win. Watford looking to clear the ball away. We're only in the first 10 minutes here. Wilson with the ball. Lays it to Apia, or Apia? I don't know which it is. Answers on a postcard. Ball played forward, headed away. Silva with the ball, giving it to Deegan. McGuinness, though, really big, well, I was going to say really big win. He's then forgotten about the ball existing and giving it away. And Watford now bringing it forward. Davis on this near side. This whole near side of our stadium is now an eyesore. I'm going to have to look at this for the half a year until the stadium work's done. What's happening at the back? What's just happened? You know what? Maybe National League football wasn't so bad, because compared to this goal scored here, I feel like the goals we saw in the lower divisions were better. I mean, what is that sequence of events? That feels rubbish, doesn't it, when that goes in against you in Football Manager? Fullback, inside to Loser. Interesting build-up play. Read well by Gallagher, who gets there first. Wilson now giving it to Kelly. Can we get the ball forward? Robbie dropping deep as that target forward. Looks for our Conte on the far side, who gets there first. Players are queuing up in the middle. Slimani's one of them. Hits it in off the post. First goal of the season for him. And it's 1-1. Now, I don't want to big us up too much, but that was a really, really good goal, wasn't it? Can we discuss that? Really good hold-up play here by Alcante. Pulled it back, and the finish, I mean, through a sea of defenders, in off the post. Oh, what a way to equalise. Watford with the ball. Johnson bringing it forward. Can we shepherd him wide? Can we prevent him getting the ball into the box? Well, the answer is he hasn't got it into the box. He's almost put it into a more dangerous area. That was very nearly another goal for Watford. It's been blocked away. 10 minutes left of this first half. It's still 1-1. And when you look at the chances, ignore the XG. XG's a load of rubbish anyway. When you look at the actual shots, it's very, very even. We're not having as much of the ball as I would like, but at the same time, we're not being completely outclassed here. And I mean, we might even have a chance here before half-time. 7 minutes left. Gallagher going long towards Smith, who's going to flick it on. Yer is in the middle. He snuck away the ball. And I'll tell you what, Robbie Yer, he started this season with some goal-scoring antics. It's his second of the season. It's 2-1 here when we're winning against championship opposition. I mean, I don't want to get carried away, but we're gonna win League 2 this year. This is the conclusive proof. I mean, not great defending, is it, by João Silva, but we're not going to complain. Yours put it in the bottom corner, and it is 2-1. Vanucci trying to make something happen on this near side. Clenahan back to Vanucci. Watford just looking to have the ball here, looking to secure possession, knocking it around the back. Loser to Johnson. He's now bringing it forward, just making his way into the box, pulls it back to Blake. And Adrian Blake with a very, very simple finish. I know it's like a forbidden thing to discuss FIFA on a Football Manager video. This is like all the goals I currently concede in FIFA Ultimate Team. Little cutbacks to the edge of the 6-yard box. I'm not bitter. I'm fine. FIFA doesn't make me angry, honest. Okay, look, half-time here. We probably have been second best on the overall balance of play, but you've got to be in it to win it. If it's still level like this in 45 more minutes, we have a penalty shootout, which would actually be kind of a good result for us. Of course, what would be an even better result is if we could win it. Gallagher to Kelly, putting it in on a plate. Yeah, McGuinness, the right back, hits it and hits the post. I mean, of all the players to shoot from there, McGuinness is not the player I would back to score for us. Sadly, the woodwork's denied him. There might be another chance, though. Slimani has hit the crossbar as well. Oh, it could have been 3-2. And now Loser's got a free kick for them. He's going to put it in. It's headed away initially, but Deegan is going to mop up the pieces. Need to remain defensively alert here. Ball whipped back post, headed away from danger. And apparently that's a penalty. Kelly put his hands on him illegally. I mean, look, I don't want to say the 3D match engine didn't show it. Did anyone see him get pushed? Load of baloney. If Silva now scores this, I'm going to be very upset. We hit the woodwork twice in the first couple of minutes of this second half, and then they score a penalty that didn't look like a penalty. This game makes me more angry than FIFA, I think. Okay, you know what? 55 minutes played. Robbie Smith has not been good today. I'm going to bring in Owen Phillips. I'm going to bring in Goller as well. I know I'm just going to keep playing Goller until he scores a goal. It'll be a magical moment when it happens. Elsewhere, I'm bringing in Brandon Charles. I know he's got an injury and I was told not to play him, but rules are there to be broken and advice is there to be ignored. And I think we'll hold on to our last couple of changes for now. Okay, Kelly with his back to goal, giving it back to Smith. Gallagher on the far side, plays it to Phillips, the number 11. He's going to keep it alive and keep it in play. Gallagher with it, half a tackle in on him, but he's going to put it into Robbie Yer, who scores his 4th goal of the season and makes it 3-3. I mean, look, I'll level with you going into today's episode. Wasn't expecting the Watford game to be the more competitive one, but we could be on for a classic here. 6 goals scored in the first 60 minutes. There's still another half an hour to play. It is games like this against superior opposition, albeit Watford might be rotating their team slightly, where I look at it and go, if we can be this competitive against championship teams, maybe the playoffs isn't out the realms of possibility for this season. You know, maybe it is possible after all. Okay, 10 minutes later, Kelly's not having the best of games at centre mid, so I'm going to bring in Tanner Jones, I think. The rest of my subs are all defensive options because, well, we're short on attackers anyway, but we've got a couple of injuries. So I've done all the attacking changes I can make. There's 5 minutes left. They've got a corner. Not like this, Football Manager. Ball headed away initially. Do not give away another foul. Brandon Charles, bringing the ball out. He might have an injury. He doesn't care. We'll give him injections. It'll be okay. We're bringing it forward. Charles, could we catch them on the break? 5 minutes plus added time. Ball play to Phillips, who dinks the keeper. And Owen Phillips scores his 2nd goal of the season. And with that, it's 4-3. We're beating Watford. We're beating... I mean, look, we're getting very lucky. Let's be honest. Ignore the XG. Not a real stat. I mean, the ball here by Brandon Charles is superb. Outside of the foot was that. That was filthy. And then the little dinked volley... Oh, I'll tell you what, that's the best goal of the day. I know people hate it when I do it. I am going to go more defensive. That doesn't mean that I am going to time waste. I'm just going to go on to balanced and drop the wing backs back. We've got 5 minutes to see out here, plus any added time. There's 5 minutes of added time. I mean, I've come here expecting nothing. Are we about to leave with something? Yes, we are, folks. A 4-3 win in the Carabao Cup. Robbie Yer's got a 9.0 rating there, and I'm very happy. Can you hear it in my voice? How have we managed that? Look at that. Guernsey beat Watford in a thrilling encounter. 1 for the underdogs. Robbie Yer, you beautiful man. He got, well, a very, very good performance there. 2 goals, 9.0 rating, 20 headers won. My goat. I'll level with you. When I sat down today, didn't expect to lose to Stevenage and beat Watford. I think that was probably the most unlikely results. But you know what? Football is an unlikely sport where the underdog can win. And today we have won. Over the last couple of seasons, but especially last season, I've done fewer episodes per season, but the episodes have ended up being a little bit longer. I do want to change that up a little bit. You can expect probably 6 to 7 episodes per season, I think, going forward. Probably less triple headers, but more double headers. I know for some people, they have time to watch half-an-hour videos every day. This one probably is going to end up being on the longer side because of that Watford game. But generally speaking, I want to be aiming for 25 minutes tops. With that in mind, I am going to be looking this season, just to experiment with episodes a little bit. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, I don't have a Scooby-Doo. A weird start to this season, but a start to this season that makes me remain optimistic. Let me know what you think of the squad, what you make of the performances today. I think we can establish ourselves as a League 2 team. I'm quietly confident of that. Hopefully when we return next time, I'm not in the drop zone, or that would be rather sad. If you have enjoyed today's video, do make sure to drop a like on it. We will be back with more Park to Prem action on Monday. Take it easy, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days' time. I'm out.